I don't know if this is working. Testing, testing. I'm not gonna know if this is working at all until someone comes in here. Hi. I have no idea if this is working. I am live. Feels weird. I don't know what I'm doing. I keep looking this way. I should move this. There we go. Volume is good. All right. I can't tell. This is a test. This is only a test. Please stand by. I should fix the lighting. This is natural light, which I like. This is the light next to my the lighting light. I do have whiskey. It's official. Thanks for the assist, Ben. I really can't tell if the volume's working at all. It's not doing the thing I'm used to seeing when editing. So it's weird. All I know is that it's there. Is it on? Sure. Yeah, what's up, Doc? I say that to my doctor every time I see them. I have a feeling it pisses them off. Mostly because she's not a doctor, she's a nurse practitioner. Oops. Actually, I wasn't sure I could stream it all on YouTube. I haven't bothered yet. I don't even know how to set it up properly. This angle is strange. Like it goes to here. I want it to be here, but it's here. You can see my mic and my headset over here. Doesn't look right. So I want to do what I want to. I had no real plans for this, so I'm just waiting to see what happens. Just wanted to see if it worked. It seems to, which is nice. Yeah, it's getting all the gaps I have, like this area of the wall, and then over here. Because I can turn it, but then you'll just see more of the nothing. I live in an asylum. I don't think you knew that. Like, is that better or worse? Ooh. Oh, I am currently drinking this one. I don't know why I picked this one. I just feel like it. There's no rationale at all. I find streaming helps me focus. Good. I know this worked when I did a kind of an impromptu thing with Eric Waite, where he was just, I think it was before Christmas. I just wanted to have people on. Apparently, I can just, join someone else's channel without even thinking about it. But again, it doesn't have the same setup that I'm used to dealing with. So I was mildly worried if it would work. I wanted to see if I could do PC gaming stuff on here. I know some people do that. I'm not sure how. Everything I do is on Twitch, so I don't even know if I broke any rules by saying that. I hope not. What else do I have? I have this weird stuff too. Ooh, it's backwards. It says Island Mist. It's something my dad started to like because it's cheap Isla, basically. What else? That one. I've been trying to figure out what videos I should do next since I've been feeling so blah as of late. This is what I want to do, but no one will know what the hell it is. Unfortunately. Should probably check YouTube to see if this is even reviewed yet. Probably is somewhere. Nice color. I think the worst part about putting yourself on the live stream thing is like, well, someone's here, maybe. Like, you're here, Ben. Thank you for being here. I didn't expect anyone to be here. Again, I'm just testing it. This is the Uprising Sons of Liberty. I don't know if that's showing properly on your end. It's showing backwards to me. But it's a New England blend, distilled from a stout mash. Exactly. My father actually can't drink anything right now. He's recovering from knee surgery, or knee replacement surgery, I should say. It's not like he had surgery on his knee. They took what was left of his knee out and put a new one in. So he gets no alcohol for a while. I don't know who the other one is. It's probably me. I'm in the chat too, I think, officially. But my father isn't able to drink for a while because all the pain meds he's on, unfortunately. But whatever else he's on, I don't know. They gave him a lot of drugs, I'm sure. Knee replacement surgery is no joke. I have this thing too. This is probably one of the most peculiar bottles I've ever had. It's a liter, for one. Heaven Hill Quality House Mild and Mellow Kentucky Blended Whiskey. He's already at home, which is great. He got the surgery on Wednesday? Tuesday? Recently. But he's already back at the house, thankfully. And I think he had to do, what do they call it? Therapy? Like, you have to move around even though it's unpleasant. He has some nurse show up at the house. It's helping him move around, I hope. I'm supposed to go there supposed to leave in about an hour. So I can stream for an hour of me doing nothing. But he's supposed to, there's always supposed to be someone there, and my mom has to leave the house for a little bit. So I get to go babysit, sort of. Well, I can't really do anything other than talk whiskey with them. I'm sure he'll hate that. I'm definitely not going to talk about whiskey, but we'll do something. Yeah, that's what's weirding me out. This was a Christmas gift from family or my brother or something. I think it was my dad, my mom, but it's, I don't know what to say about it. I haven't tried it. Okay, so I don't know anything about it. It's unopened. It's just a screw cap, but that's a warning symbol right there sometimes. Although there are plenty of good whiskeys in screw caps. But this one is a 40%. It's from Kentucky, at least. And it is Heaven Hill, so that's supposed to be good. Can't even read this print. God damn. Every drop, oh God, this print is awful. Every drop of the Kentucky whiskeys used in this special blend was distilled by, God dang, traditional sour mash Kentucky craftsmanship to assure consistent quality and taste. This product is a blend of 20% Kentucky straight whiskey, 36 months old, 80% grain neutral spirits. I don't know what this is. To demonstrate for the viewer, this will probably look backwards, but for one, this print is all red against a yellow background, and that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. It's focusing on my face, God damn it. It's got weird fontness all over the place. That's hard to read for anybody. I'm wearing glasses. That doesn't help. 20% Kentucky straight whiskey and 36 months old. That's good to know. But 80% grain neutral spirits? Good God. God, pounds. Yeah, it's odd. I mean, most of my other bottles are not like that. They're all much smaller. How much is like this one? This one looks like it might be the same. Hold on. No. 750 ml. This is the standard that I'm used to seeing, a 750 milliliter one. And this is Dead Rabbit Irish whiskey. I haven't tried this one, but I bought it from Irene in Connecticut. Spoilers, you can actually see me in the Whisky Vault video, Whisky Tribe video, sorry, when they visited her place. I was there. It was awesome. But I'm only seeing for about 2 seconds walking off camera because I didn't want to get involved with, I don't want to be in the way of what they're doing. They were there to have a good time. I wasn't looking to make a scene. I just wanted to be there. Oh, I don't know why people hate on Maker's Mark. This is actually pretty good as someone who enjoys higher proof. But what is this? Cast strength brew, yeah, is fine. It's wonderful. I'll never understand it. We seem to be in a weird spot in the age of whiskey. Like, we should be at the point in the world where we're all kind of standardizing things. But since America is so American, I guess we'll say, we have our own way of doing it. What's the metric system? We don't use that. You want a pint? What the hell's a pint? Doesn't make any sense to me. I live here, so I've even switched up my phone to Celsius just because I hope to travel overseas sometime and I want to have a general idea of temperature when I go over there. Instead of like, it's not Fahrenheit, I don't understand. Right now it's cold. Where's my phone? There. I was charging. Yeah, it's kind of sweet. Like the regular Maker's Mark seems very sweet to me. That was one I used as an introduction to getting into whiskey. I would use Maker's Mark and iced tea. There was was her name Ingrid? Ingrid Nelson? I don't know if I can even link stuff, in the corner over here. I don't know. After this is streamed. But there's a specific video I'm thinking of. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's I don't know. If I go just slightly north, everything changes, and it shouldn't. But Americans. I'm in American. I don't like Americans. Imagine that. I don't like people in general. Actually, you're fine, but that's because you're just a bunch of your name and a lot of typing. So I'm fine with that. I have no problem with people typing at me. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I can't see myself anymore. I got my speakers on too, so anything I do have to look up. I bet this typing is loud probably. Her name is Ingrid Nelson. God damn, I look at some YouTube channels and I think, I have over 100 videos. I'm doing so well. And then I look at theirs, and 2,000 something videos. Oh, yes, I remember now. Suddenly humbled. Great. Okay, I got her name right. Oh, wait, I spelled the last name wrong. N-I-L. There it is. Don't autoplay. Don't. Stop. Okay. I'm actually going to share right where it is too. Share at start time, copy, Tango. I know. I mean, I don't want to call myself a natural anything. I'm just whatever. I've tried to talk openly on my streams, they're not my streams, on my videos about having mental disability. You can look at me and think nothing's wrong. I assure you, things are very wrong. Yeah, I have problems leaving my apartment sometimes. I mean, imagine that. You want to go to work? I think I'll just stay home. Sucks. Does that work? Good. That's the video I watched and started getting into ways to drink whiskey early on when I was just getting into the Whisky Vault and the Whisky Tribe kind of stuff. I was kind of surprised how long Scotch Test Dummies have been around, because I only got on the whiskey train working on close to 4 years ago once Whisky Vault started. And I can thank who? I can thank Modern Rogue. I think I stumbled across their how to get into whiskey video on Reddit, maybe. And that was it. That was all, other than why I was looking at it, which I think I've said in videos before. I had started getting interested in whiskey because my father and I had just done a book by Fred Minnick. Oh, you have so much to look forward to. This is all over the course of 3 years. This is not, you know, suddenly I have 30 something odd bottles kind of thing. That's not a thing. This was just progressive. Like, you can look at the videos I've done on this channel that I posted mainly for me. So 3 years ago, I started doing the whiskey advent calendar stuff along with Daniel. You know, why not? I wanted to get into whiskey. I was curious from the book we had both recorded. My father read the book and recorded it in an audiobook. I had to edit it, so I had to listen to the whole thing. And we got curious. It was great. What else is to say? I mean, I haven't met Fred Minnick. I just know he's a whiskey person out in the wilds. And the book was Whiskey Women. I think the link's down below usually once this is finished. Whatever. Man, I hope you get to go to actually see the Whisky Vault someday. Granted, that's in Texas and you're in Canada, I think, but I know there are other guys. The what's the channel called? Cask Strength? Another channel. And Brad LeClaire, who is a demigod officially, or a former demigod of the Whisky Vault. He's from Canada. I haven't met him either. I just know he exists. I think I've talked to him via their own streams. And again, this is just a test. Actually, I didn't put this on Twitter. Oops. I did no one on Twitter watches me, so. What? What you might want to do, I don't know if you watched my whiskey, Texas Whiskey Adventure, but all I did was I couldn't afford to go to their bastard ball at the time. Like, it was October-ish, and I couldn't go. But they actually showed up in Rhode Island, of all places, which is where I am, to visit Irene, who's in Connecticut, who I've just started getting in touch with, kind of. I've gone to her place a number of times just to talk whiskey and sample stuff. She's got an amazing store, lots of selection, but God, I can't afford any of it. Although I did buy this from her. Like I go there and I buy like the tiniest stuff. So I bought this Knob Creek thing. Well, I bought something. And I bought this, the Dead Rabbit, from her because I was curious. The Whisky Vault community is phenomenal. The difficult thing is when you have a channel that's been around for a while, like mine. Yeah, you can see me in that video twice, at least. But you wouldn't know it unless you knew where I was. And at one point, I just walk off the camera. And another point, I'm in the midst of the crowd during her, just after her speech, when they go pan across the crowd. I'm like, right about there. Actually, wait. There. And I can barely be seen because it's a huge crowd. I was there when it happened. That's the weirdest part. I got to meet Rex and Daniel at that event. That was bonkers. I feel very fortunate that that coincidence happened. That kind of solidified my decision to start doing more whiskey stuff on the YouTubes. Lovely. Her store is doing very well, thankfully, as far as I can tell. But I also got to meet with the Laphroaig guys there, which was also weird. One of them had a kilt. Let me see if it has the link for the book, or the audiobook, I should say. You can get the book. If you like reading, please get the book. Fred Minnick has an interesting way of writing, especially about whiskey. Ah. I hope this will work. I would say for Laphroaig, try it at a bar first. Don't buy a whole bottle. All right, that's the link to the book, I think. I don't know if that's going to work. Let me do the other way. I still don't know what's allowed. Like, I'm breaking all the rules, probably. Nope, that's way too long. See if that link / text works, like copy paste it into your URL and see if it works. It should, but that should bring you to the audiobook. The audiobook is what me and my father did because we do audiobooks. Oh, okay, yeah. I was worried when people are saying I haven't tried Laphroaig. I go, well, but if you've had Ardbeg and Lagavulin, you're fine. You're fine. You did mention smoky stuff early on, so I was like, oh, good, maybe, I don't know. But Laphroaig has a special place in my heart just because it's how we started into whiskey, because the book got us curious about whiskey. So we had done the audiobook and we were like, oh, whiskey is pretty interesting. What else can we do? And then we found that Laphroaig was nearby, so we had a sample of that. My dad absolutely loved the stuff. I didn't hate it. Now, I went in thinking I was going to hate that stuff, but I didn't. It was fighty, is the words I like to use, but not terrible by any means. And now I get a lot more notes out of it. That's since I've had numerous Laphroaigs. I have Ardbeg Udal over here. I have, what else do I have? I don't have Lagavulin. I have the Game of Thrones version of it somewhere. Is this it? I think so. Yeah. Lagavulin 9, the Game of Thrones edition. It's good. I don't remember when I had the Ardbeg 10 or if I've had it. I feel like I have, but I don't know. What I would recommend is someone who likes peat and not crazy peat. Like I like peat subtly. Like I like it to be an accent or something. It's like how do I describe it? Yeah, the 9's good too. I mean, it's Lagavulin. You're not going to go wrong probably, unless you have a real itch for peat, which I don't think you do if you have Lagavulin tastes. I would recommend this one here if you want to try an Irish peated Connemara. I recommend this to anyone who's curious about peat. Because one, it's an Irish peated, so it's not too aggressive, but it gives you an idea. But I also just say, you know, Johnny Walker Black has a tinge of that kind of smoky peatiness, like a little, if you're curious. But if you want to just go jump into the pool, you know, have a Laphroaig or an Ardbeg, good luck. I think my wheelhouse is Irish bourbon. Although I started with Scotch. Again, keep that in mind. Officially, I started into the whiskey world being interested in peated scotches. That cannot change. That's the facts. That's the truth. Curious about Laphroaig, tried it, didn't hate it. Wonder what else whiskey could do. I imagine you wouldn't really like Johnny Walker Black or Double Black because it's not heavy peat. It's just got a tinge of it. Even that, the Connemara, is just a hint. So, like, I don't want to say be prepared for disappointment, but again, see if you can find it at a bar. That's my thing to do, is find a decent whiskey bar in your area. They exist. And become friends with the bartenders. That never hurts. I haven't really done that yet. Because the bar that I like is up near the city, like the main city, which is a good 30-minute drive-ish and expensive. I did a video on Buffalo Trace. I never had the that word, Tomatin Kubonkan. Kabunkan? I'll do a search on that now, though. I'm curious. Oh, do I have this over here? I got it. Yeah. I think the reason I didn't want to do a live stream is because I don't know what to do. I don't think I can get funding or anything. Like, people can't give me money. I'm not that entertaining, so I don't know. Just another white guy on YouTube. Yay. Not enough of that, clearly. Oops. There's a bunch of them, actually. It's a peated bourbon or a peated scotch? Oh, that part. I was like, ooh. I haven't paid attention to their journey of whiskey yet. I've been too focused on my own and just kind of rolling along with what the tribe does. I'm not even sure where those guys are, other than I assume somewhere south of where I am. That's where most people are in the Americas, the States. Well, at least 9 of these. What do you pronounce this? Bourbon Cask Limited Edition. Standard Edition. There's a Standard Edition. Oh, it's from Kansas. Have I been to Kansas? I'm not in Kansas anymore. I feel like I haven't. I've been to very few places across the states. Let me think. Virginia. Actually, I've been to a handful. I live in Rhode Island. I've been to Connecticut numerous times. I've been to New Hampshire, Vermont. I haven't gone to Maine yet, oddly enough. I haven't been to Kentucky, but that's on the future list. Yes, yes. They have that kind of the twang as being from, down there somewhere. I don't think I have a twang, but I'm sure I do to other people. Especially if you live in Canada. You'd probably say New England or New York even. Please don't say New York. Florida, Virginia, Illinois, Missouri, Nevada, technically. Oh, wait, that's right. I forgot. When I was a kid, my parents took me cross country. So I've been to more states than I'm aware of. But recently in my adult life, I've only been to a handful. So that's been fun. Texas, recently. I'd gone through Texas as a kid, but that was 20 plus years ago, maybe. Something like that. Ooh. Trying to think about it. I hope to go to Kentucky sometime within the next few months, maybe in March. It'll be fun. We'll see. I do dig bourbons, and what's sad is the tariffs and that kind of thing that are happening. I mean, if you're in Canada, you don't have to worry about that. But in America, there's some tariff bullshit that I am not a fan of. Making the prices of my Scotch and Irish whiskey go up. I don't like it. I only know about that stuff because of Whiskey Cast. I think they're called. Is it a podcast? Sure. Right? Time flies. I'd like to go to Alaska just to see it. I hear it's cold. And I'm not wrong, I'm sure. I'd love to go overseas. That's what I'm hoping to do eventually. Don't know if that'll happen, of course. I have to get my passport. That'll be fun. Costs money. I have most of the paperwork and forms, but oh my gosh. I'd love to visit Ireland and Scotland. Maybe even visit with Roy from Aquavite. 2018. That was 28. That was ways back. I almost said I was 18. I was no, 1998. That was not true. Ben, do you use Twitch at all? I'm curious. Or do you know what Twitch is? Probably the best way to start that. I'd like to visit the Philippines too. I feel like I would. There's one problem. If you'll note, my skin tone, as some people in Canada have a similar skin tone, going anywhere warm and sunny is dangerous. Just because I could just burn, that'd be it. Turn into a lobster within minutes. I'm gonna add this Tomatin thing to a wish list. It is a single malt Scotch. This is a Highland though. At least this one is. Oh, he's in Destiny too. Well, if you or your brother ever want to hang out with me on my Twitch stream, I do that a heck of a lot more than I've ever tried this. This is the first time I've tried it. And I assume there's a way to, make this smaller and in the corner and broadcast what I'm playing, but I really have no idea how to do that unless I use OBS or some other kind of thing. I do have something else I want to show you, which I think I showed on. No, I didn't. I forgot. You'll get an insider's look at KillCo. Sorry. Oh, why? So I have this from my brother. My brother actually works in the liquor industry, sort of. He sells alcohol to people, liquor stores, bars, that kind of thing. And he got me this. I don't know if this is showing properly, but it's called Cedar Ridge. There are 5 different whiskeys in here, as you can see. They're tiny, obviously, but are they 200? 200 milliliters. I do. I do PC gaming, like World of Warcraft. I played Destiny 2, but I haven't played it in a while. I played The Division 2. I played Overwatch. Did I say World of Warcraft? And Borderlands 3. Those have been the ones I've been going through lately. They do. That's the funny thing. When I started to just get curious about Iowa whiskey, which is what these are, I found out that Slipknot decided to go that route. This, however, and what I'm interested in, and I want to try these all at once, but I know that's a bad idea. We have a rye. We have a bourbon whiskey. So the rye is at 43%. The bourbon whiskey is at 40%, I think. They have a Cedar Ridge single malt whiskey, single cask, and that is at 40%, oddly enough. Then we have their single malt whiskey, which is not a single cask. It's just a single malt whiskey, 40%. And then we have a wheated whiskey, which I don't even know if I've had a wheated whiskey. I probably have by accident. That is also at 40%. So I'm very curious about what these are all like and what makes them different. And also, it'll be the first time I've had an Iowa whiskey that I'm aware of. Oh, gosh. Is it? Oh, I've never known. I'm looking at this one. That doesn't help me at all. This one just says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. With bourbon, I always just assume it's corn. This is batch number 18-02, if you're curious. I do know that with makers, they made bread. That was how they figured out which one it was, which one they wanted to use the mash bill. They wanted it to be, yeah, that one's cast strength. But they wanted to make, they made a bread out of it, and whichever bread they liked more, they made the mash out of. That's perfectly reasonable to me. Oh, it smells so nice. I haven't been drinking much whiskey lately, oddly enough, because I haven't been feeling well. Just in here, tired, lethargic, unpleasant, if nothing else. That's something happening. Oh shit. Yes, this is cast strength thickness mark. You can tell by the wax and the weirdly shaped bottle, which kind of looks like a penis. But you didn't hear that from me. It's fine. Plus, I've never found a good reason to have a long, like, neck. People get weird about neck pores, and they have this big old freaking thing. Whatever. What I've been wondering is if on the Whisky Vault channel or the Whisky Tribe, they'll ever get into bottle design. Because that's the thing, right? The whiskey itself is what you're interested in, yes, but the display of the whiskey is the bottle. Maker's Mark itself has a very distinguished bottle just because it's a certain shape and the wax. Four Roses has a pretty unique bottle. Who else? Do I have one? Oh yeah, this is another one. This is empty. But Angel Envy. There's a third? Who's the creeper? Angel Envy has a very unique shaped bottle. I mean, the design of it is pretty neat. It's got the angel wings in the back. It's cool. This was going to be my infinity bottle, but I'm debating. I have a feeling I drink too much whiskey to actually get an infinity bottle. I also have these. Yes. This, hold on. I will say yes, but I won't know for certain until I look. Blah, blah, blah. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in port wine barrels. This one was 43.3%. And yes, I liked it. Okay, it's gone, so I liked it. But I am curious about bottle design. Like even this one. Bushmills. Very distinguished, unique kind of look. You know Bushmills bottle when you see it. Even got this stuff on the side here. What is this? See if I can read this properly. Triple distilled, 1608, the old Bushmills Distillery, Irish whiskey. So is that on both sides? They didn't have to do that. Bushmills, I find, is great for an Irish coffee. It's a nice sipper, but if I were going to recommend an Irish to anyone, it'd be Redbreast 12. Cask strength, technically, but just try the 12 first. That is my absolute favorite whiskey right now. As of this moment, Redbreast 12 cask strength is my favorite. I haven't found anything to replace it yet, though I've had plenty that were contenders. Redbreast is amazing. Oh. I had some recently, so I'm not going to pour myself more now. And I have to go somewhere in about 20 minutes-ish. I bet he does. Here's the thing. Oh, yeah. There's a reason. Even the thing I mentioned earlier. Wow, where'd it go? Hold on. Whiskey Cast. Why couldn't I remember that? The Whiskey Cask podcast, or whatever the heck it's called. That thing. Have I had the double wood? I don't know. I think the Glendula Mizunara cask finish is something that blew my freaking mind. It was so good. And that one is not cheap. I want to get a bottle of it to review it, but it's $70-ish or more American, and I shouldn't have bought most of these, so I could buy it right now. I might. But I shouldn't. But I might. But I shouldn't. Oh yeah, Whiskey Cast is what's the word? Yes. He likes to be informative. He likes to be educated and informative and have some information to give about whiskey. I do not have that. I am like the poor man whiskey channel. I got into this and started doing this because I like whiskey, and I wanted an excuse to drink more of it. So here we are. I do know a little. I can't pretend I don't have some vague info about whiskey, but There's a reason this is not education and it is entertainment. It's because it's just what it is. It's me and my whiskey and my dragon here. This is to guard my whiskey. That's his job. It's very important. That was a gift from a long time ago, too. I didn't buy that myself. It was a gift. Yeah, like I've said before, if you go back to my old videos from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I'm not even sure how long I had them on there. Those videos exist just for me. I recorded them for myself to see later what I thought about certain whiskeys. And I haven't even gone back to watch any of them. Not really. I think I looked at one or two of them once. The only time I looked at them was recently because of the past advent calendar this past December. I would take the video I did last year at the same day and just plunk it down as a end of credit thing. Mother, give me that. Send that to me. No. Skyrim was wonderful. That's one of the games I really enjoyed. I liked adding stuff onto it, doing add-ons and stuff, so that became a problem. There was too many add-ons, and I had all of them. But oh well. The one good thing about the whiskey community we have here is that I used to drink alcohol in a very negative way. I would drink a 6-pack in a night. Just cause. Since getting in the Whisky Tribe, though, I've learned to mitigate and enjoy and not drink so much. Because a 6-pack in a night doesn't sound like a lot, but if you do it real fast, it's not a good thing. It's a very bad thing. Clean up glass. Have some water. Drink more water. Shout out to It's Bourbon Night. I always defaulted to the cat people. I forget what they're called. But that's just because I think they were better at sneaking. I always played a thief, roguey kind of character, bow and stabby kind of stuff. That's been my thing since I was a kid back in D&D days. Been playing Thief the Dark Project. That was always fun. Right, well, you're very lucky that you found the tribe because in my case, I may not look it, although the beard kind of gives away the age. I'm 39. I've been drinking since I was 21, and it was not in a good way. Like the one thing I've tried to talk about in my videos is my mental health, and it's not great. And it hasn't been for a very long time. Oh yeah, there's no point in getting in something's face, but I will get in something's face. I have to. Just, the closer you are to something, the harder it is for them to hit you, and the easier it is for you to hit them, or at least disable them. Kung Fu. But with the mental health issue, I was using alcohol as a coping mechanism. Don't do that. It doesn't help. Medical cannabis helped, and I started using that a year ago. Oh, you're almost like me, where you got into whiskey recently, because I had never drank spirits directly at all until I started watching the tribe and getting into the book, and the whole thing. It was a real just kind of roller coaster. Meeting Rex and Daniel, them landing in the freaking state I live in. Think of this: the odds of those two gentlemen, who are from Texas, a very big state, landing in a small state, the smallest state in the States, basically, Rhode Island. The odds of that happening are slim. And I was very fortunate in the fact that they mentioned it and said, hey, there's an event going on in Connecticut. It's an hour away from where I live. Boom. I don't believe in fate, but that was a pretty strong head nod to, hey, this whiskey thing, Seems to work out pretty well, doesn't it? Yeah, medical cannabis has helped me get through through 2019. I got my card officially for legalized stuff, and I started to feel better. Not immediately, but over the course of that year, I felt better. And unfortunately, with the passing of my pet cat in December, I only can describe it as a sledgehammer to my mental health. So all that good that 2019 did just got smacked down into the ground. And I've slowly been recuperating since then. It's been almost a month now, I think. Yeah. The 19th is when it happened. So in the next 2 days, that'll be officially a month. I honestly don't know. I know there's Irene, but as far as New England area whiskey people, I think the Whiskey Dick's in the vicinity, but I'm not even sure. I haven't contacted many people. I haven't gone, reaching out to anyone being say, hey, are you around? And can I come over and drink your whiskey? It's not the best idea, but mooch life. It's another thing I like to say about my channel. Mostly I'm just a mooch. I want whiskey and I want to try it all. So do I want to review it? Kind of, but I'm more just interested in trying it for my own personal enjoyment. Yeah, the tribe people are all over the world. So there are probably whiskey people in the area. There is one gentleman I've met in person who was in the tribe, and he's actually a bartender at a whiskey bar. So props to him for having the kind of foresight or just dumb chance to get into the whiskey world on YouTube to help his job, which is a bartender at a whiskey bar, a literal whiskey bar, not like they have whiskey. It's a bar with hundreds of whiskeys, but it's not nearby. It's at least an hour or something like that. Far enough so I don't go there often, although I probably could go there again soon. I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I could just ask when he's working again. Think of the Whisky Tribe as an online community, and that makes it a global community. Like I'm New England-ish. Rex and Daniel are Texas. Chad and Sarah are Kentucky officially. That does help. Like I said, my brother gave me that Cedar Ridge thing, but he also works in the industry of alcohol. He doesn't have kids, but he's married. Unlike me, who is very single. So, ladies, no ladies watch this channel. They might later on, though. Who knows? Unlikely. But it is always nice to get free whiskey. Like this bottle was the free bottle. Those bottles were the free bottles I got from my brother. What else did I get? Oh, here's another one that I think Rex and Daniel talked up pretty highly. KillCo, Irish. Very tempted to have some, but Diageo imported. Diageo's been in a lot of stuff. I see that everywhere. This one's a blended Irish whiskey, non-chill filtered, 45%. So it's a higher proof, which I dig. But I always seem to enjoy 50% more than anything else. I might have some more of this later. It's very good. I enjoyed it. And my father got me that bottle. I think it's all the whiskey I got, though, for the holiday. And I can't officially prove I was at Texas because I have a video on it, and I also have bottles of Eleanor. Sorry for the noise, it's very loud. And this one is unopened. I'm terrified to open it. Even though I know I can go get another bottle right now, probably. Yeah, you're in for a wild ride, man. I mean, my channel is what it is. It's just, I like to think of the go-between channel because I'm not, how do I put this? I'm not invested in the whiskey complications or the specifics, I drink the whiskey and give my review, but because of my mental issues and because of my problems processing information, basically. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's mostly what's fun about it, is just chit-chatting with people about whiskey. That's all you want to do. When you start getting into a hobby, you just want to talk about your hobby. And that's kind of what I've started doing with trying to live stream, with trying to get more involved in the community, with being able to meet Rex and Danielle. Hopefully I'll be able to talk with Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night. We'll see. No promises. And maybe someday I'll even get to talk with Roy, or maybe I'll go to the Bastards Wall this year. I don't know. That's all future stuff. It's a maybe at best. I don't deal well with crowds. That's my problem. But I still like to be there in my own kind of partitioned off way. We'll see. I am going to have to shut this down in about 4 minutes, because I know with other whiskey tubers they tend to run for an hour, and I didn't expect to run for an hour, but you stuck around, so thank you for that. I didn't expect anyone to be here, but you are. Yeah, the Cabal episode was today. That was wonderful. Oh, there you go. It's your day off. All the more reason. I said on their video for the Friday Cabal and stuff, one of the ones that I tried when I was in the vault was Cabal, the last one I had, and it was delicious. I was very happy to see them both have a similar reaction to that kind of whiskey, because I don't know what the heck they're doing over there, but oh my gosh, it's good. I know the higher proof has something to do with it, but wow. I'm just starting to just thinking about it. Yeah, today's episode was a pretty good one. They were both kind of they had their moments. Rex was being inappropriate and touching Danielle, which he loves, as you know. But I will cut this off in about, there's a timer here, which is nice for me, 57 minutes. So 3 minutes, I will cut off the stream. Yes, I know, I'm so entertaining. While you're still here. Yes, here's the thing. Rex is very tall. He will deny that probably, but Rex is at least 6 feet tall, and Daniel is about my height. And he's very normal sized. Rex has decided that he wants to pretend that Daniel is short, but he's not. He's average height for a male in the United States, and Rex is obscenely tall. I have pictures of him with me, and he's much taller than you'd imagine. And it's funny, because he can call anyone short, and most people are shorter than him. It's like meeting the. It is a hysterical running joke. I think one of the guys from Scotch Test Dummies, I think it's Bart. He's pretty tall. He's at least 6 something. I'm not good with names. I'd like to meet them too someday. Except they have this one thing that drives me bonkers, where they yell at the camera. I'm not good with noise. If someone starts yelling, I just tune it out. I can't deal with it. Yes. I haven't met either of them, but the reason I can't watch their videos sometimes is because they have this one shtick, I guess you call it, where they just yell at the camera. Tested? Is that what he says? Tested? And he just goes, ooh. Immediately just once anyone starts getting loud, my brain stops working. So it's, again, I have problems with people, and I have disabilities, and it just sucks. I just fast forward. Like, that's the good thing about YouTube, is once I know he's going to do that, just skip ahead until he stops. I get it's a thing, but oh my gosh, my ears and my brain can't deal with it. Well, Ben, thank you for hanging out. I didn't expect to spend the next, the past hour just talking whiskey, but I'm glad I tried this out. It's been fun. Hopefully he'll come back. Hopefully I'll be able to do this again someday. But we're hitting the 1 hour mark, and I got to go get to my parents' house, which is about 30-ish minutes away. So go check out the Whisky Vault video today. It was very good. And hopefully I'll do this again someday, somehow. Or you can catch me on Twitch someday. You can follow me on Twitter. I think it's at Mr. K77143, if you even have Twitter. Good sir, thank you. Till next time, sláinte, as they say, at least in Ireland. Bye-bye.